Here's a question for you. Are they projecting onto you, or do you need to take a hard look at yourself? Let's talk about how to know the answer to this. Hi, I'm Marina Popper, founder of the AP Method, and if you're ready to do life, love, and success in a way that actually gets you results, then this video and this channel is for you. And before we dive right in, I want to ask you a small favor. Download your free Core Values workbook using the link below, because your values are the foundations of your transformation. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me help more people by getting this content out there, and your comment could be the very thing that helps someone else today. Now, let's get into this. This is one of the trickiest parts of healing and transformation, because once you start learning about projection, how people dump their pain onto others, you'll start seeing it everywhere. You'll notice when people accuse you of things that actually belong to them, and that's really powerful. But here's the danger. Sometimes people are projecting, and sometimes they're right. Sometimes it's not about them, it is about you. Now, the skill isn't dismissing everything as projection or swallowing everything as your fault. The skill is discernment, learning to pause and test. Is this about me, or is this about them? And I want you to know this is a real art. It's not about being perfect, it's about learning a process. And today I'm going to give you 3 steps that will help you figure this bit out. We're going to talk about how to check your body, how to ask for evidence, and how to test everything against your values. By the end of this, you'll have a way to cut through the confusion so you can grow where you need to grow and release what isn't yours. Let's start with why this is so important. Psychology tells us that projection is one of the ego's oldest defense mechanisms. Freud described it as the process of denying an unwanted feeling inside ourselves and placing it on someone else. For example, a person who's angry might accuse others of being aggressive. A person who feels insecure might label you as needy. But here's the twist. Not every accusation is projection. Some of it is genuine feedback. And this is where another psychological model comes in, the Johari window. It shows us that we all have blind spots, parts of ourselves that others see, but we don't. That means sometimes the uncomfortable thing someone says is something we need to reflect on. And neuroscience makes it even more interesting. Our brains are wired to protect our egos. We have confirmation bias, a tendency to accept information that makes us feel good and reject information that makes us feel uncomfortable. That means if you're not careful, you'll dismiss everything that hurts as projection and never actually grow. Or you'll absorb everything as truth and walk around drowning in shame. Now, neither extreme helps anybody. So, let's talk about how to tell the difference. Step 1, pause and check your body. Now, projection and feedback feel different in your nervous system. Projection often feels confusing, destabilizing, or like it came out of nowhere. You walk away thinking, wait, what just happened? That doesn't match who I am. Genuine feedback, even if it stings, usually resonates somewhere deep down. There's a pang of recognition. You might think, ouch, I didn't want to hear that, but at the same time, part of you kind of knows it's true. You may feel like you did do the thing. So here's a scenario. Your friend says, you've been really distant lately. Your first instinct is to defend. I'm busy, I've got a lot going on. But then you feel a pang of truth. You know you've been distracted. Now that's feedback. Now imagine another scenario. Your coworker says, you're selfish, you always think of yourself. But you know you stayed late last week to help them with their project. You feel confused, almost gaslit. That's likely projection. Your body knows the difference. Projection leaves you spinning, questioning reality. Feedback leaves you uncomfortable but grounded. Here's a journaling prompt for you. Think of a time someone criticized you. Did it leave you confused, or did it leave you stung but recognizing a little bit of truth in that? Where in your life do you feel resistance because you don't want to admit what you know is real? Step number 2, ask for evidence. This is where things get really clear really fast. With projection, the evidence is usually very vague. They'll say things like, you always, or you never. With feedback, there's usually something specific. So here's a scenario. Your boss says, you're unreliable. Instead of collapsing, you can ask, can you give me an example? If they say, well, you're just always like that, that's projection. But if they say, yesterday you missed a deadline, that's feedback you can actually work with. Now, another example is, let's say your partner says, you don't listen to me. If they can point out, last night when I told you how stressed I was, you kept looking at your phone, that's feedback. But if they just say, you never care, with no specific, that's more about their state of mind than your behavior. Now, this step is powerful because it keeps you out of shame spirals. Instead of assuming they're right, you ask for clarity. And if there's none, then you don't need to absorb it. Here's a journaling prompt for you. Think about the last time someone accused you of something. Was their evidence vague or specific? How would it feel to calmly ask for examples instead of just reacting? And step number 3, check with your values. Now, your values are your compass. If your feedback aligns with your values, it's worth reflecting on. If it violates your values, it's likely projection. So here's a scenario. Let's say one of your values is honesty. Someone tells you you weren't honest about how you felt. That stings, but it also matters because honesty is important to you, and that's feedback. Now let's take another scenario. You value self-respect and boundaries. Now someone tells you you're uncaring because you said no. That's not feedback, that's projection, because setting a boundary isn't uncaring, it's living your values, it's caring for yourself. And when in doubt, hold it up against your values. Does this feedback challenge me to be more aligned with what matters to me truly, or does it try to pull me away from my values? And here's a journaling prompt. What are my top 3 values? Did the last piece of criticism I received bring me closer to those values, or did it attack them? And how can I use my values as a filter before I accept someone else's opinion of me? So let's put this together. When someone comes at you with criticism, here's the process. Pause and check your body. Does this feel like confusion, or does it sting with some truth? Do you feel there's some truth in that? Number 2, ask for evidence. Can they point to something specific, or is it just vague blame and projection? And number 3, hold it against your values. Does this call me closer to my values, or does it attack them? When you run through these 3 steps, you'll know. You'll know if it's projection to release or feedback to grow from. This process takes practice. At first, you might get it wrong. You might dismiss feedback that you actually needed, or you might swallow projection you should have probably ignored. That's okay. Growth isn't about never messing up or being perfect. It's about having a process to come back to so you practice and learn each time. Imagine what this will give you. No more drowning in shame from every criticism. No more dismissing everything as their issue and missing your own blind spots. Instead, you'll live in clarity. You'll know what's yours to carry and what to release. And that clarity is freedom. So here's your reminder before we close. Download your free core values workbook. It's linked below. It will give you the compass you need to test feedback against your values. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes. And if you're ready to practice these tools live with me, join the Freedom Challenge. It's completely free. It's launching very soon, and it's your chance to live these tools in real time. Because you are not here to carry everyone else's projections. You are here to live your truth, grow from feedback, and step into lasting transformation. And once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye for now.